All right, let's just spread this out a little bit, just a little, just widen our lens. I wanted to step back and just take a look at this for a minute because it really is a weird feeling to be in a place where people believe, where people speak, disagree, but all speak with the premise that we're dealing with a spiritual world. I was listening to Andrew Yang. Andrew, sticking with our Daily Wire family here. Andrew Yang is a philanthropist and entrepreneur, and seems like a pretty decent fellow. And Ben had him on his Sunday special. And Yang is running on this universal income, which I just think is one of the worst ideas in the world. They're always quoting Milton Friedman about it. But just remember, Milton Friedman said it was a pipe dream because his idea was to get rid of all other welfare as a way of weaning people off welfare, to give people a universal income instead of welfare. There would be no other programs. If that's what you're talking about, I'll talk about it, but nobody's really talking about that. They're just telling you they're just saying they're going to give you money. Socialism solves all problems with money. What's the problem with that? The problem with that is the same problem as trying to solve everything with chemicals, right? Your body is the language, it's the word in which the spirit speaks. Your body is the language in which the spirit speaks. Money too. Money is a symbol. It's a symbol of your desires. It's a symbol of your ambition. It's a symbol of what you want and what you can construct. That's what it's a symbol of. If I take it away and give it to somebody else, I think I'm solving his problem, but I'm not, because he's got a problem that has kept him from having any money in the first place. And I'm taking away from you your incentive, your reward, the mark of your ambition. That's all it is. It's just a symbol. It's like my taking a piece of your body away and giving it to someone else, saying, well, you had 2 arms and he had no arms, so now you'll both have 1 arm. It's just exactly the same thing. You cannot solve it that way. So Ben challenges Yang, and he says to him, you say that jobs give people meaning, but then you say that nobody wants to work. And here I want to play not Ben's question, but Yang's response.
If you look at what happens to idle men in particular, we spend a lot of time on the computer playing video games and doing other things. We volunteer less than employed men, even though we have more time. Our drinking and substance abuse tends to go up. And over time, there are some antisocial patterns that develop in idle men to a higher degree than women. And so that's just data. And so if you look at that and you say, okay, this actually is pretty consistent with my intuition that work is incredibly important and vital. It provides structure, purpose, fulfillment, meaning, social structures to people every day. And so the question is, how do we create more things like that? Now, to me, the best path to create that is to put economic resources into people's hands in the form of a freedom dividend of $1,000 a month, which would then allow more people to do the sort of work that either they want to do or that their community has a need for. And the goal is to create jobs, and putting $1,000 a month into people's hands would create at least 2 million new jobs, just because the buying power would just go right back into local businesses and communities.
That's a completely incoherent thing. The guy sounds like a smart guy, but that's just incoherent. That's like Nancy Pelosi, who once said the greatest job creator is unemployment, unemployment insurance. And I thought that's great. Then all we need is for everyone to be out of work, and then everyone will have a job. It doesn't make any sense. Capitalism is a system built for using the way that people are. It is made to use the way that people are. The thing that he says there is that jobs give meaning. That's not true, but I'll get back to that in a minute. But people don't want to work. Now, that part is true, right? I love my work. I love my work. I love writing. I love what I do here. I just really love it. But, I don't want to go to work. It's work. I mean, a body that's at rest tends to remain at rest. Inertia just keeps you where you are. It takes willpower to do the thing that you want to do. Money is a great instigator. Money is a great incentive to go out and do that work. Take that incentive away. What on earth makes him think that suddenly people are going to want to work? The people who have stores, who have jobs that these people can spend their free money at, right? They'll go on working and they'll take the free money that they got to be recirculating their money. But it's not going to make the person who's getting the money do anything. Of course it's not. It's if the people have that extra money and they can not work, they'll not work. The thing is, meaning is you have to work to find meaning. You have to not do all our desires are like wild horses, whether it's ambition or lust or whatever it is, we have to ride that horse and force it to go where we want it to go, not where it wants to go, because it wants everything, right? Your ambition wants everything. Doesn't care if I have to kill the guy next to me to get what he has. I want it. My lust wants everything. It doesn't want just my wife. It wants every other girl. I've got to ride that horse and make sure it goes where I want it to go. And capitalism really helps with that. It really does. It doesn't work. Capitalism doesn't work with no values. It doesn't work without Christianity. It doesn't work without religion, because it's just like socialism. It is just a materialist way of being, but it's still more in line with the way people are. I mean, listen, I'm not asking for us to go back to any religious wars. I'm not asking us to be able to sit and pass judgment. I'm simply asking us to talk about the human condition as it is. I'm simply asking us to talk about reality as it is. God makes you happy because God is there. God makes you happy in the same way believing in gravity makes you happy. If you don't believe in gravity, you're going to have a very short and ugly life, And if you don't believe in God, the same kind of problems are going to occur because you don't know the truth. You don't know the way the world really works. Ben and I don't have to argue about the divinity of Christ, right? We're talking about what C.S. Lewis called the Tao, the thing that is the basic idea that underlies all religions. All religions have an idea that there are certain things that are true about the human condition that do not change, that there are men and there are women, there's good and there's bad. If we can't speak at that level, if we can't speak about that at that level, and you think we're going to solve everything by moving money around or by, taking drugs, if you think it's all going to be solved by material means, we are all going downhill. And if you think that the reason to believe in God is because he makes you happy, you're making the wrong argument. That's the wrong argument. You can't believe in anything because it makes you happy. I mean, it would make me happy if like angels dance on the head of pins. I don't believe in that because I don't see the evidence of that. But the evidence of God is all around you. It makes you happy because you're telling the right thing.